Welcome back. PrepperNow. Woo! Well, we're going to start with the monetary, and then we're going to go into the health. And we have some new threats, yes, but we're going to get there here in a moment. So we've got a bit of a fight coming with the Freedom Caucus. It's ramping up, and God knows, that they shouldn't be saying stop all the spending. We should just profligately spend and buy everything on the planet. So before I get to this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here. What's that? Yes. Improper Social Security payments reach 1.1 billion. Agency backlog hits all-time high. Improper Social Security payments, why, what would that be? Well, that is, checks going to, criminals and people that are lying to the government to take yours and my tax money, right? So the backlog of payments in action on the SSA is now at a record-breaking level, causing the agency to make more than $1 billion in improper payments to beneficiaries. That's according to the Office of the Inspector General and some other group. That's a problem. That's your money. Do you think, all right, so if you think you're going to actually get Social Security, put a 1 in the chat or, comments. If you think you are not going to get the Social Security you've been paying into all of your life, put a 2 in the chat. By the way, there's a guy on here named Taz. He's here from time to time. He got in a really terrible accident yesterday. He is thankfully, from what I understand, he and his friends in the wreck were okay. They got through it, but his car didn't look good. He sent me a picture. But just so you know, if you could just say a little prayer for his healing and everybody in the wreck, and that he gets through it, because losing a vehicle when you live where he does, he lives in California, it's not easy. So if you could do that, that would be most awesome, because, well, we support each other in this little community we call PrepperNow. So I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. A little prayer from my man Taz. Taz helps me in the background with stuff. He's a good dude. So the SSA backlog of pending actions hit an all-time high of 5.2 million as of February. So that's a statement. Pending action of the agency claiming processing centers remain unresolved for a long period of time. So they got this Rona backlog, all this different stuff. All these people were basically saying, hey, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me. And now we've got 1.1 billion worth of improper payments by February. So, where's it all going? I know that California is really renowned for its ability to misuse and misallocate money. I know the Defense Department is very good at that as well. They can just lose a few $100 billion with the best of them. So, I don't know where all this money is going, but this is a problem. Especially when you consider our 1 trillion, probably 35.2 trillion. It has been 48 hours. So customer satisfaction has been ongoing concern. Yeah, I'd say as a customer of the Social Security Administration, as the person that pays into it and literally gets nothing in return so far. Hopefully I'll see it here in 15 to 20 years when I retire and all that. Taz, thank you. You didn't have to do that, dude. We're praying for you, brother. Thank you. That's very kind of you, man. You I know where you live and I know how expensive it is. You keep your money. So yeah, this customer satisfaction. Report continues to highlight the urgency for SSA to reach its pending actions performance goal and to ensure beneficiaries receive their proper payments as promptly as possible. Wonderful. Improper payments, it's an issue. Yeah, it's a bit of an issue. So, what do you say? He said it was a rental, whipped, lashed, and shaken. Well, at least it was a rental. Good. That makes me feel better because the picture you saw, that thing was jacked up. So, but you know what? You were in the vehicle, so I hope you're not jacked up. I hope you're because I don't know if you've been in a nasty wreck. I have. Like, you can go 3 days and be like totally fine, and all of a sudden you're just like in pain. You got no clue what's going on. Whiplash is real. Call the offices of PrepperNow and Crisis Report. OIG pointed out in his report the SSA failed to reduce its processing and center paying. So I can keep going on all this. I think we all know that there's a lot of money that is misallocated. This is a big problem. Improper payments. The SSA has taken certain actions in March. Agency announced a new rule easing burdens on overpayment recipients. So basically they overpay people, they screw it up, and they want it back. People don't give it back. But the point is that they screw up. Now, their goal and probably, how do I put it? Their plan will probably be to add another couple thousand agents out there to do their work. Maybe the IRS can come in and help, right? So I don't know how they're going to get this under control, but we're all paying right now a lot in inflation. It is the big monster in the room. Good news that it has risen 0.1% in the month of July. So you are now, paying only double plus 0.1% what you were in 2022. So year-on-year basis, PPI rose 2.2%, sharp drop from 2.7, reading in June. Good. So they had forecast 0.2, they got 0.1. Translation, stuff is still going up in price, and we were all hurting because of it. What does that mean? Well, it's rising less than expected. It's slowing down, which, of course, now you hear every political pundit out there scream how great everything is. Holy crap, vote for Kamala. But the fact is that we are all still paying so much for stuff at the grocery store. What did I see today? What was it? There was something. I go to some places where I get things on a discount, right? And some of the food, salami is like $8 to $10 for like 8 to 12, 16 ounces, depending on the package. Especially if you get like the good stuff. You can get the house brand, But the point is that like it was $3 or $4 for that, $4 or $5 for that like 2 years ago. And so things are just way elevated, way too much. The beef is too darn high, right? So they've been looking for ways to stop this. They've raised the interest rates, which of course has crushed the home index. And then you take on the improper payments, the waste of money, the graft, everything else. Good news, folks. We are going to be getting into a bit of a fight, and those dang old Freedom Caucus people are going to be doing their best to stop the profligate spending of our esteemed Congress. So these are the evil people there and their whole budgetary concerns. And, far right. Ultra-conservative group, because Lord knows having a balanced budget and being able to pay for crap is ultra. How about we just say the fiscally conservative group, okay? Require the support of 80% of its roughly 36 members. Spending fight Mike Johnson faces in September. Congress must clear a funding bill by October 1st to avoid a government shutdown. Uh-oh. There is a government shutdown alert. This is a government shutdown alert. If you enjoy profligate spending and not seeing your Social Security you've been paying all of your life, you'll keep spending like our Congress does, also known as drunken sailors. They expected a stopgap that keeps levels steady, known as a continuing resolution or CR, but it's unclear if they'll punt the fight to later this year. Yes, they will, probably, but probably not too much further. I bet it'll be something like November 6th. But the main thing you need to know, folks, is that there is another fight coming. Yep, another fight, another potential shutdown of government. I was trying to find the word, shutdown of government. So the inevitability that Congress considers a CR, government funding, should be extended into early 2025 to avoid a lame duck omnibus that preserves Democrat spending and policies well into the next administration, House Freedom Caucus said in a statement. You know this thing is all going to get punted till after the election. You know it. It's just the way it's going to work. Because they care more about their friggin' jobs than they do, managing the budget. And, of course, they need all your money. And if you believe in a balanced budget or, not just, pissing away your great-grandchildren's, if we even make it that far, let's be honest, this whole thing is going to come to a head. We can't keep spending this way. The money is getting terrible. The usury is growing up. We're not able to pay down the principal. And it's just a matter of time before most of what we bring in taxes is only going to paying the interest on our debt. That is called a death spiral, and that is where we are pretty darn close to being. It's what the people, the gang of whatever, way back in the day when they, in 2010, had an idea on how to stop all the spending. Well, that wasn't politically convenient for the people trying to get elected, and now it's been kicked down the road, and this is down the road. Here we are. And a little bit further on up the highway, we're not going to be able to grease this goose anymore, and it's going to come crap in the bed. It's a matter of time. So Republicans, the chamber, only roughly half the full-year funding bill. They can't even fund spending bills. This Freedom Caucus is there because, they need to have someone act like they're going to care and get all this done. I don't understand where they think all this money is going to come from. I don't understand why they think all this can just keep going. It can't. There's just a time when it's not gonna be able to be stopped. It's too much. So this is coming. This is a fight that is coming pretty darn soon. I think Bob Good has been taken out. Johns will negotiate with the White House and Senate Democrats, but the bigger political headache could be managing divisions within his own conference. Well, of course, some of these people are trying to actually be fiscally responsible. So they'll probably do a stopgap bill, but I just know that this is coming. This is going to be coming in October. We got a big old fight coming, and they need money for everything. Like, I don't know, new money for Mr. Tedros. Yep, there he is. Darth Demick himself. Good news, folks. They've added Black Death Plague, bird flu, Mpox, your Antilles cough, Rona, all these other things to this growing list of threats that are coming. This is the thing where some of our money will be going. Of course, we're trying to pass that whole negotiation, I'll call it, rhymes with Feedy on on lockstep governance from my man here, Mr. Communism. So he is one of those. So since the whole Rona thing and everybody, freaking out, Bear had a good video today saying a lot of people are coming down with the Rona, or so his doctor said to when he took his little baby child and wife in there, and his daughter's got it. So hopefully, like he says, praise the Father, they are getting better. But the fact is that the Rona is out there still raging. My wife sees it, a lot of Rona that consumes her her day to day. But now you got the Black Death. It's the best name. They need to rename that. That's just too much. Too much. The Black Death Plague is coming. So, but bird flu is coming as well. Mpox, all this stuff. Tedros is all, other diseases like Zika, yellow fever, avian flu, all them. Sinombre virus, whatever that is. With no number, I guess. No number virus. I don't know what that is. That jumps from deer to mice and to people has a fatality rate of 30%. Wonderful. Cholera, that's wonderful. That's your, 19th century action right there. That's coming up the gut from some of our new friends that are becoming Americans. Plague, salmonella, all this stuff. Yeah, let's just grow the list. R&D blueprint for epidemics, but its contents have become hugely influential since its first iteration published in 2017. Well, that's convenient timing. There's a new disease also in Germany called blue tongue. I don't know what that is, but I think it hits sheep or something like that. Go look that one up, blue tongue. So disease X, of course, is the other one. They don't even know what that is. They just, like, there's somebody on this list that they don't even give names to half of them. They just call it X, disease X. Remember last night when Elon and Donald were having a big old conversation on disease X? Platform X. So, yeah, this is a big old concern coming out. It's not yet known threat. They're worried about it. Whatever it may be, might be a combination. There was a story I put out onto Locals and Subscribestar and Telegram about a guy that had like HIV, Mpox, Rona, strep, like 6 other things too. This guy was a freaking mess. He had everything. I think half the list was on there. So, we're getting into it, and of course they're getting into it. Blueprint has been a very big deal, helped focus attention to a set of pathogens that have been neglected effectively because there were no commercial drivers for countermeasure development. Well, now there is. Now we know that the big pharma is going to get a lot of money if they come up with stuff, so much so they're trying to create interventions for things that aren't even there anymore. And, of course, the Myrna is the big hot ticket item now. So, say what you will, that's the platform they use, and they think that's the future. Well, all this is going to scare the bejesus out of people. And all of this is potentially a problem, of course. But the fact is that, we have a whole list of things coming on that you should be prepping for. One of the things that made me think about doing this one, first of all, is to mix it up, but also there's a lot of medications out there that are starting to become tougher and tougher and tougher and tougher to find, okay? So my wife has had a cough that has existed and persisted since Rona that she had 2 months ago. She's getting ready to take some antibiotics that we have had in our case for quite some time. We have a bunch. We have a JASE case. I used to be one of their, affiliates. There's still a link. You can still go there and stuff. But I haven't, made a sale or pushed it in a long time if you want to do that. But most people already have their thing and they're good. So having antibiotics on hand for a long emergency would be a wise thing to do. Just saying. So I don't know who you get yours through. There's all kinds of companies out there. I'm not going to promote one or the other. It's as long as it's a solid company with a good record and good ratings and reviews, then get what you need. But I think that there is an X factor, not a disease X factor, but I guess a disease X factor. There is a X factor in all this stuff. We talk about the financials, we talk about the war. But in left field, there is, of course, the specter of some form of a nasty something. that would come in, as David Dubine calls it, debug. There could be a new debug coming, whatever that may be. Now, of course, I'm not going to tap into the validity of it and all that, and you believe what you will believe. But I think there is a specter of a new something, maybe a disease X, maybe an old friend, but that is potentially coming to knock on our doors and say, hey, remember me? Remember being shut in? Remember all the things you got to wear and things you had to take and things you had to do? You guys remember that? I'm back. There's a worry about that. So, and the other problem with that was that there was a lot of money made, and there was a lot of power gained in all that, which honestly, for me, is one of the biggest problems. Think about all the stuff, all the power that was gained from our political types, right? So some of the, priority pathogens, as they're calling it, is the Lassa virus, MERS, also known as Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, Rona, global, Ebola, African, but has been to America before, remember? Zika, Americas, Africa, Asia, Pacific. Dengue fever, widespread, tropical. Sinombre virus, I've never heard of that one. That's a new one. Deer mice, North America, lovely. Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever, wow. Eastern and Southern Europe, Middle East, Asia, and Africa. That's almost global. And that comes from ticks. I don't know about you. Have you noticed a lot more ticks this year? I have. I am out in the woods daily. And my wife has picked off at least 5 ticks that have been crawling its way. Now, as soon as I get back in from being in the woods, I take a shower, usually. And, of course, the old flu. Global birds, livestock, and humans. So that's, I fear, a left field kind of thing, And then, of course, all the stuff that goes along with this is the other problem. It's one thing to deal with a demic. It's another thing to deal with all of the things that go along with it. What you got to wear, what you got to take, what you got to do. And then, of course, the rules and the power and the people that get power hungry and say, ooh, oh, yeah, baby, I remember you. I can gain unlimited power. Yeah, big concern. So, October 1st, we got another debt, whatever the heck you want to call it, showdown, threat coming down the pike. Social Security is paying anybody that signs up. They're not, but they're sending out a lot of extra money when they don't have to. Inflation is at least cooled a bit, but still incredibly high, and all the bread is too damn high. And then as all this is coming, we're focused on finances and war. You have this laundry list of potentials out in left field, just strapping the boots on, getting ready to kick everybody swiftly in the nuts. So, just a little threat matrix for you guys to figure out. I do recommend getting some form of medication packet. IFAC, go to Bear. He's got good stuff. But yeah, take care of yourselves and make sure that you're prepping for health. Also saw a video, thanks to my homeboy Frank, today. A guy by the name of Perry Stone. Perry had a thing where it was, he was talking about a grid down kind of situation. Think about what would happen with all that. And honestly, of all the things we talk about for a major long emergency, grid down is the most probable, okay? And it would be the most destructive. So any kind of a rogue actor country could do a lot of damage with that. So make sure you have power in various forms. A lot of stuff out there. The threats are rising. They're not getting less. So pretty pleased with sugar on top. If you guys could keep prepping, okay, yeah, that'd be great. I'm going to need you to prep another 100 pounds of rice by Saturday. Yeah. No, you guys should be prepping, okay? Please, don't neglect this stuff. Threats all over the place. The hangover of 2020 is still there. You know, our finances in this country are just a wreck. And then, of course, you know, because of it and our loss of control, you're seeing, you know, conflict rise all over the place. So you should be vigilant in that as well. And then, of course, all the other stuff coming down the pike. And, you know, the random whatevers like grid down. So there's your little pep talk of reality. Please keep prepping, okay? And also share this video. Like it. Do the whole, you know, comment thing. And subscribe if you're new here. Love to have you. Come back. We talk about things in a, you know, normal way. A little humor and infused, but other things. But just a dose of reality, because all this stuff is coming. There's a lot of problems out there, okay? And we should be cognizant. We should be ready to roll. We should be ready and prepped and able to handle it, because we're preppers. We're going to do it. We're going to be able to handle it. So we have things like extra meds and antibiotics and IFACs and food and rice and long-term foodstuffs and water and filtration systems and plans for a grid down situation if we need to keep the fridge on, all that kind of stuff, okay? Don't neglect that stuff. Don't get all caught up in politics. Keep the bare bones basics ready to roll and be vigilant, okay? Good old Brad from Full Spectrum says, keep watch. All right, friends. I'm going to turn it off on that one. I'm going to go to bed and get up in 7 hours and do it all over again. God bless. We will see you on the next one. PrepperNow out.